So that is the reason I brought this core Java concept into picture now. We have a person class, and the person class has a constructor here, which is an integer, and which takes arguments an integer and it takes a string. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to create two persons from this class, and we are going to go more deep into how we are going to compare whether those persons are the same person or they're different person. Indirectly, we're going to see how Java compares equality. And when we are coding, obviously we should not worry about comparing objects, right? Because in the APIs, we should worry more about the logic rather than comparison. There are certain times you have to really worry about that. Why should you worry about that? This is the intent of this video, to show that why should you worry about object comparisons. I'm going to declare another class where we will have this comparison. Let's after we have public static void main, we will have declare the classes. So I'll say person P is equal to personalize, person P2 is equal to James. Then what I'm going to do is system println, and I'm going to say P1 dot equals P2. So what are you expecting here to happen? Let's see. Let's run this. It's false. So far so good. We are creating two different objects, and then it is telling that these two objects are different. Right. Now the question comes, what if I'll say the same person, Elias, right? I'll say this person is also nice. Observe one thing is that when I say this as Elias, what do you expect? See, person is a class. As long as the ID and name is same, both the persons are equal. So as per this, P1 should be equal to P2, right? Let's run and see what's the result. False. So there's something wrong here. Java is not capable of recognizing same objects? No, that's not the issue here. The issue here is we should ask how Java does a comparison of objects. So now the question here is that how do you resolve this problem? We know that there's a person class, and we can override the equals to method here. So to override equals method, what we'll do is that we want to see this as long as the ID and name are same, those persons are the same person. So what kind of logic I can add here? That's the question, right? So we did override. The override, what we are trying to do is we'll check if this is equal to that current object is equal to this object, and we return this true. But if the current, if the object what you're getting is null or does not belong to the object of this class, then we return false. But there's one more check we need to do, which is very important, and that is that we have to ensure that ID and name are the same, right? So now we take this person object and we see the current ID whatever is given to us. If it is equal to person.id, the name what is given to us. is equal to person.name, then it should return true, otherwise it should return false. Correct. So what we did is basically we took the object which is coming here, we typed as back to person class, and then we compare the ID of that person class to whatever is the current ID here. And we compare the name of that person class, and we compare the name. If both of this are true, then we return this true, otherwise we return false. So let's see now what happens after doing this comparison. Both are license, right? Yes, true. Now let me make this as realize. Let's make this a zone. Now let's compare. Yes, it's returning false. That means now it is able to recognize logically the objects are equal. So there is a necessity sometimes, to override the equals method and write your own logic, which can help you, make sure the objects are equal what you think. So that is why you have to override the equals method. So that means you have to recognize situations where you feel that the object comparison fails. Here our object comparison failed because we have our own structure of object like person, and we are saying that the person is the same person if the ID and the name are the same. Now there's one more thing we need to recognize here. That is related to hash. That means that since every object should have a unique identification or a unique address to store, right? So how does Java manage that? Generally, Java thinks that as long as two different objects are pointing to same memory, they are equal objects. So now we're going to check what is the importance of hash. Okay, now we are successful in having a logic for comparing two similar objects, two equal objects, and we put a logic, customized logic for overriding equals to method. So this is where we did that, where we are overriding the equals method, which takes object, and we are able to recognize the same object. Now suppose I want to put both of these objects in a hash map or a hash set. Now let's put this logic here. We'll have a hash set, and inside the hash set we'll have put these objects. What do you expect to happen now? Since both these objects are same, when I add this into a hash site, it should show me it's only one object. That means set size should show one, right? Let's check that. It's showing two objects, which is not right. We have only one object. Now, in spite of overriding equals method, when we did object comparison, it is recognizing that they are same object. Why the size is 2 now here? So there is still something we need to, do for this to work. Now remember one thing, that if the two objects are equal, Java says that then their hash code also should be equal, which also means that it is not enough if I override the equals method. I need to override the hash also. Add override, and how do I override the hash method? So how do I override this method? Is that I use in hash code, and what it does is it takes, if the hash method is going to take ID and name, then it is going to return the hash code. So when it returns the same hash code, if you are writing hash bucket here, let's see what side it shows. Let's run this program. Yeah, now it is showing that it's only one. Because what we did is we did not just override the equals method, we did override our hash code. Why did this work? Because Java thinks that if two objects are equal, then their hash code is also same. How do I make the hash code same? When I am returning the hash code for this one, I'm pass ID and name. That's the logic I use, so that it does not generate different hash codes if the IDs and name are always same. So what exactly is happening in this main program? I'm passing one as the ID and alias as the name. It comes here second time when ID is 1 and name is alias. It knows that, there's no need to create another hash code. I've already created. I need to give the same one. That is the logic, for the equals and override. If you understood this in a very simple way, I tried to explain how the overriding of equals and hash code are connected and how Java compares two objects using equals method. Very basic, but a lot of people ask this question. If you like this video, subscribe my video. Thank you.